This is one of the busiest air transport hubs in the world. QF32 arrived safely from London, but not long after it took off bound for Sydney, passengers heard a loud bang, looked out their windows and realised there was a potential disaster in the making.
There was a first bang, and which got everyone's attention, and then followed very closely by a much louder bang, and the fuselage of the plane certainly shuddered.
Which got the attention of a woman just on our left who was actually overlooking the engine, who started to scream, there's smoke coming out of the engine, there's a hole in the engine.
The view out the window, captured on this amateur video, was every passenger's nightmare. With a hole ripped in the wing, the pilot advised them all to be calm.
I've had 35 years of flying experience, and this is the first time I've had an engine fail like this. So what's happened is engine number 2 has had a failure, and it has affected other parts, not important parts of the airplane, but there are systems that have been affected.
With a full load of fuel and an hour of checklists to run through before landing, QF32 circled the islands and straits around Singapore.
The aircraft is safe. We have 4 engines. We have lost one. We have shut down. It's possible we could have perhaps restarted it, but to be safe we won't. So you are safe.
Once the Airbus landed, the damage to the engine was clear. Firefighters moved in to neutralise fuel spilling from the damaged wing. The passengers, safely landed, were still in danger as the risks multiplied. The leaking fuel was accompanied by another engine that wouldn't shut down.
And despite all the lights being off, everything being turned off, there was a rumbling in the plane. And the captain then came out and said, oh, look, we're sorry, as you can probably gather, one of our engines won't turn off.
Look, the captain was once again very clear to make it clear to us that the fire brigade were attending to that and putting water over the engine to make sure that it remained safe. But obviously, in the back of your mind, you're concerned about a very hot engine next to leaking fuel. Obviously, you're in a state of anxiety.
Despite the seriousness of this incident, the passengers displayed a mix of emotions as they left the terminal. One chap said he'd had a rotten time. Others appeared shaken. But most played down the mid-air drama.
Well, there was a big noise, and apparently some of the engine fell off, but it was okay, actually.
Did the engine fall off?
No, we could see the hole in the wing.
Give me a Boeing anytime. It's very confusing.
The passengers were allowed off the plane in small batches. The pilot told them later he didn't use the emergency slides because the situation didn't warrant it, and there would have been 50 broken legs among the passengers if he had. Most of them were full of praise for a flight crew that kept them all calm, and the pilot provided a briefing on the cause of the accident.
He said that there was a problem, at about 4,000 feet as we took off, with the turbine pretty much exploding, which is clearly a problem, which is now being reflected in all the A380s being grounded.
However, he couldn't explain why one engine wouldn't shut down.
Fire services were there. We tried to shut the engine down, and as you are aware, the engine did not shut down. Now, that is not a design feature. That was unusual, but
Qantas trades heavily on its safety reputation, and now it'll be hanging on the results of an investigation we understand to be conducted jointly by the Australian Air Transport Safety Bureau and their counterparts here in Singapore.